Oh, wow, that was so special. And look, let's give it up for our First Lady, my wonderful wife, the mother of our kids. Thank you so much, Lizzie. Well, good evening, Albuquerque. Good evening, everyone who's tuning in here across the state. And I just want to thank you so much for keeping Keller for another 4 years. Thank you so much. And you know, tonight is not just a victory for us and our family, right? We know that in this election, Albuquerque stood up for integrity, for truth, for everything that we want to do in the future. We stood up for moving forward and for staying the course. Thank you so much for being with us on this journey to make our city a better place. Now, fundamentally for me, anytime there is a chance to serve your hometown in any capacity, it is humbling. It's something I'm grateful for. And I also know it's something that is not always easy. And we saw this in the numerous debates and so forth when people tried to say that things like crime and public safety and homelessness were easy to fix, that just saying a phrase would make them go away. This election was about real leadership. It's about how hard it is to get that done, but it's also about the tenacity and the resilience that you have to really problem solve, to dig deep, and to actually address root causes. That's what this election was all about. Thank you. Now, I just want to share, of course, my deepest gratitude to our family who's been involved in this. It's, of course, our children who you saw earlier, and our First Lady, Liz. Also, my in-laws who are here, and my parents. I mean, my dad towed someone who was stuck at a polling place with his tow chain this morning. You know, the public service comes from family, fundamentally. But I want to thank all our family who's been part of this, even my brother out there on Manal waving a sign. People thought he was me, so hey, that worked out great. But I just want everyone to know that there is a whole village, a whole team that does everything we need to do, whether it's run the city every day, or it's our city councilors who do their part to help our city, or it's the directors, the executive team, the rank and file at the city. There are thousands of people who work every day to make this city better. Thank you so much to everyone who's dedicated to that mission. Now, of course, I do want to thank our campaign team, Chris Rocha, he's out there, and I know Fran Flores, Mario, and also the formidable Nettie Ogeen. That's right. You don't want to be on the other side of a campaign against Nettie. It's not going to end well. So we're grateful for her and all she's done in her career, but also for her help on this. Look, these results were surprising. They're surprising in a great way for everything we're trying to accomplish. I don't know anyone who picked the kind of result we saw today. And whether it's 55 or 56, it sends a clear message. We're staying the course, we're going to keep doing what's right, and we're not going to change. We're just going to do better, and we're going to work harder, and we're going to keep lifting up our city. Now, I do want to take a moment to just thank our opponents. They stepped up. They ran for a tough job. And I know Eddie Aragon, who, of course, I used to play football with at Pius back in the day. We disagree on pretty much everything. But he ran a respectable race, and it's something he should be proud of, and I think he was authentic about it. And so I appreciate Eddie being in this race. And, of course, to Manny, you know, I just hope he honors the commitment to not be political. You know, we need our sheriff. He's got one more year left as sheriff. And we need him to support APD, to support Chief Medina, to support every single officer in the city, no matter who they work for. And so tonight, I know this is, I think, the 8th time that I've been fortunate enough to be on a ballot in New Mexico. And every race is different. Every race is about democracy, and democracy teaches us something every time there's election. It teaches us what people expect fundamentally from their elected leaders. And I know, sometimes these races can be about personalities, sometimes they can be about big issues, but I know this race was about something very, very powerful. This race was about what kind of leadership do we need in tough times. We know these are tough times. Every candidate agrees that these are tough times. And look, whether it's COVID or whether it's homelessness or crime, these are challenges facing every city in America. But I also know I'm grateful to live in Albuquerque. I know that our future is bright. I know that we did better during the pandemic than any other city in the West. We were healthier. Our economy is in good shape. It's roaring back. And while it was 4 years ago that voters trusted me to address our issues head on and to dig deep and to address the root causes around the systematic challenges we have with respect to crime, homelessness, even job insecurity. But this election was about building on a foundation. That's right, those things that the First Lady mentioned, whether it's our community safety department, whether it's the fact that we're putting $300 million out in infrastructure projects in neighborhoods that haven't seen new lights and new community centers in decades. It is about moving forward on building upon what we have set forth. Even things like the Gateway Center, even hiring more officers, even committing to our superintendent of reform and to those efforts. It's an all-the-above approach, because that's what you got to do when problems are real hard. There's no easy answers. But I know with you, with all of us, dedicated to what we need to do to this city, we're going to push forward. And we're going to lift up this city for future generations. Thank you. Now, I also want to share that, a lot of times people will ask me, do you like campaigning? Especially during this campaign, right? And I want to let you know that, I have always fundamentally believed that campaigns are really important because you get to tell your story. And it's up to the voters what they think of that story. But I know this campaign gave us a chance to talk about what this city is doing to address our challenges. Even if the media might not cover it, right? Even if the media for 4 years is focused on 1 or 2 issues, this campaign showed how important it is that we tell the whole story, that we tell the truth about what's going on in our city, and that we stand up against division, that we stand up against hatred, and that we stand up for everyone who lives here, our immigrants, our refugees, the least among us, those who need our help. And so I think we all learned that the Duke City has a thirst for our own issues